Welcome back, everyone. Today we got an exclusive interview again. We're back with Cowboys wide receiver Ryan Flournoy. Ryan, how you doing, bro?
Man, all blessed this way. Been doing good.
There we go. Perfect. Good to hear. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's our second Cowboys player. We're going to try and knock out the whole team, work our way up to CD, but we got this. Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Last week we had Kalen Carson. If you haven't seen that video, it's right above David's head right there.
Go check it out.
Go check that one out. But Ryan, I want to get into your early on in your career. You're from Illinois. Does that mean that you were a Bears fan growing up?
Yeah, I was a Bears fan. I always been a Bears fan, but I'm a huge Cowboys fan
There
now.
you go. There
It's
you go.
switched now, huh?
Yeah,
And your path to the draft was a little different than most people. You went to Central Missouri out of high school, D2, and then you went to a junior college at Iowa Western. And then from that, you finally got up to the D1 level at FCS at Southeastern Missouri. Take us through that journey. That's a tough journey that a lot of people don't have to go through. So tell us what you kind of gained from going through that kind of journey.
yeah, for sure. It was definitely a long journey and a well-needed journey. I had a lot of bumps in the road. Wasn't given anything, so coming out of high school, going to Division II, you're not, blessed with the resources that an Alabama player has or Clemson player has, and just, you know, really working my way up. I felt like I dominated. I've dealt with some injuries, a lot of adversity, but I always had that hustler's mindset where if I go out and do the work and stay prayed up, anything can happen. And I give that to I give that gym to anybody that want to be in my position. Just staying prayed up, but actually going out and do the work. So being the D2, being a JUCO, even FCS is not easy, but it's doable to get to where I'm at for sure. But the journey was lovely. It was hard, but it was well needed.
Absolutely. I don't think a lot of people have, that determination or the love for the game to get through a path like that.
Absolutely. And then we were talking, Iowa Western, right? They had some pretty good talent coming out of there, too, along with yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah, Iowa Western, the JUCO, has some pretty good talent. They have Andrew Van Ginkel, who's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate right now. Will Lee from Texas A&M, he went there, and then Geronimo Allison is just to name a few. A longtime Packers receiver. But what was it at Iowa Western that you saw that they have pretty good developmental aspect there? What did you see from that?
Yeah, for sure. Because after I went D2, I knew I wanted to transfer, but I didn't have the grades to transfer. Honestly, beginning of my career, I was not focused, and I unfortunately I had to transfer, and I had to walk on to Iowa Western, and I had to walk on to any JUCOs, but I did choose Iowa Western because the amenities they had indoor, I knew they sent people to big schools, and it was one of the top JUCOs in the nation. So yeah, I walked on there, and funny thing is, as soon as I got there. I became a captain just by my work ethic. We ain't have no practices or nothing, but the way I carried myself and the way, I took care of everything in the classroom and, just around meetings, I became a captain. But the first practice, a spring ball, I tore my right ACL. And, coming from D2 and then walking on to a JUCO, then getting hurt, I know in the back of my mind, I know a lot of people would just call it quits right there.
Yep.
And for me, it was something to push me to my goal because I always knew I wanted to be in the NFL since I was 5 years old. But I knew I had to work through that, and that was just the obstacle in my journey. But Iowa Western is a great school. I definitely recommend you know, anybody that want to go the JUCO route, I would definitely recommend that school because we went to the Natty. I know they went to the Natty the past 3-4 years, so this is definitely a great school.
Nice, nice. So I want to touch base with you, in a minute on the ACL injury, but for right now, I want to talk about confidence. Like you said, the way you carried yourself probably got you that captain spot. Did that hit you all of a sudden, and you got that captain, and you wanted to, bring confidence to the table, or have you always kind of carried that type of swag with you and that type of confidence to get you to that spot?
I mean, I always played football, so I had that role since a youngin for real. So like
Right.
my pops was a pee wee coach, and I started playing football before I even started school. So I always been a football player, and I always had that captain mentality. But like I said, when I first got to college, I was the captain role, but I was partying every day. I was
Yeah.
getting my feet wet in college. You know how that goes. So I wasn't
Absolutely.
really focused. So when I did a lot of reflecting and a lot of praying, when I went to Iowa Western, I had to turn my life around because I knew the route I was going wasn't going to get me to a Hall of Fame NFL player. So I I had to turn the switch on and become who I needed to become for real.
Absolutely. And you said, so did you tear your ACL at Iowa or before Iowa?
So I partially tore my ACL D2. I played with a brace. I missed the first 5 games and then played with a brace at Central Missouri. And then when I got to but I was fine. But then when I got to Iowa Western, I fully tore it first practice, and yeah, I think I recovered probably 4 months. I could tell you my surgery date, and when I got cleared, my surgery date was March 22nd, 2021, and I got cleared August 10th, 2021. So like that, it was a grind, and it was like
Yeah.
that determination got me right. Right, you feel me?
That's insane because I want to talk to you about that because ACL injury, I mean, you talk about big injuries amongst especially football players or any type of athlete. ACL comes to mind. Usually when people hear that ACL tear, they're crushed by it because it's such a big injury. So was that rehab process, like you said, it was day in and day out, you're just grinding it out, trying to get there?
Yeah, for sure. So I like I said, March 22nd, that was the spring season. So I sat out that whole season. I was on crutches probably like for 4 weeks. And when I was able to get out of the crutches, I had physical therapy, and that was during the summer. So the summer came, everybody at home, but I decided to stay at Iowa Western and, you know, be in the dorms. And I was literally the only person on campus, probably like 2 other people, regular students on campus. So, and I didn't have a car, so I needed to get to physical therapy. So when I was able to walk, I literally walked to physical therapy, which was like a 7 minute drive, but a 45-minute walk every single day. So I walked there and back. And walking there, I probably got my legs stronger, and then doing
Yeah.
that little workout, then walking back, and then going to the trainers, icing it, then doing a little bit of stuff there, stretching it, and like I was putting myself through a lot of stress, but I felt like that was necessary. Because I was alone, I was separated from everybody else, but I was working on myself. Getting better, getting back to where I needed to be.
So you tell me March, what was it, March 22nd?
Yeah,
March 22nd, you had surgery
yeah.
and you came back in August, you got cleared, you're ready to hit the field.
Yep, and I played the first. I forgot what our first game. I think our first game was had to be late August or early September. It was against Dodge City. I played that game. I was nervous because I'm coming off of ACL, but I think I had like 114 yards and a touchdown. So like I was like, oh yeah, I'm good this season.
That's literally unheard of.
My trainers praised me, but I gave all the praise to God because without him, I
Absolutely.
wouldn't even, for sure. So I wouldn't even be able to be playing football.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's like truly unheard of.
No, I appreciate that.
All right, and then coming out of college, you got an invite to the Senior Bowl, which is rare in itself, but even rare for a FCS guy to get an invite. What was that process like, and what was your reaction when you received an invite?
Yeah, it was crazy because I know the first bowl I got invited to was the Hula Bowl. And, I was excited about that. My parents was all ready to go to the game was in Orlando, and they was all ready to go to Orlando. Then a week before I was about to go, got the call from my agent, said, cancel your flight. We're going to the East West Shrine Bowl. And, I'm excited. I'm like, man, the East West Shrine Bowl, let's go. So then that's out here in Dallas, and that's they practice at the Star.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready for that game. I'm in combine training, getting ready for that game. Then I get another call like, bad news and good news. You're not going to Dallas no more. You're going to Mobile. And that, that was so crazy to me because I literally was praying, like even my whole senior season, for the Senior Bowl and the Combine. That was the whole reason I came back in 2023. So to see that unfold, it was just like crazy and a miracle, honestly, to me.
Absolutely. And, you got to the Senior Bowl, you got to Mobile, and your jump in quarterback play, it jumped up a little bit. All of a sudden, you're playing with guys like Spencer Rattler, Joe Milton was on your team, Michael Pratt, Carter Bradley. So what was that like, that jump in competition right there?
No, it was cool. I knew I belonged, so I had that mindset that I belong there. Whatever my Hamlin logo say don't matter. I got that dog in me, so I wanted to prove myself, not to just the scouts, but to prove to myself that I belong. So you know, every chance I got, one-on-ones, team, even special teams, I wanted to show like, yeah, I'm here. So it was definitely good, catching the ball from Spencer Rattler and all them, Joe Milton. It was a great experience, and you could tell the difference sometimes. Like they got a little more touch,
Yeah.
they got a little more accuracy, but it was cool.
Hey, does Joe Milton have as strong as an arm as they say he does?
Nah, yeah, he could throw probably like 80 yards. I remember him bragging on it, and then him actually doing it in practice. I'm like, oh yeah, he got a strong arm.
So I want to touch base with you on the interview aspect of it. I know there's a bunch of interviews going on with a bunch of teams there. How do you think you did along with the interviews, and how was that, questionnaire from them coming?
I feel like I did pretty good. We get hit with a lot of interviews. I mean, like the first interview I had, I probably ain't do the best, but as I kept going, as I got interviewed more, I became like comfortable and knowing what to say and knowing how to respond to everything. So, you know, first interview probably went bad or whatever, but by the last interview, I'm comfortable and professional with it.
Absolutely. And were the Cowboys part of that crew? Did they talk too much?
Honestly, they talked to me, but I didn't know I was gonna get drafted here. I feel like they did a good job of not keeping it, like they kept everything under wraps. I didn't know where I was gonna land. I was just excited to be in NFL, but I'm glad I'm here. I feel like this is the best situation for me for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same story Kalen said. Kalen was like, I had no clue I was coming here. He was telling us one of the hats he left was Dallas Cowboys because he had no intention of coming there. Um, how is the city? Is there any other place that you wanted to get drafted, city-wise that you wanted to go visit, or is Dallas where you want to be? Is Dallas home for you?
Hey, like I said, I love Dallas. Like I didn't expect Dallas to be this chill. Even I live in like the Frisco area, McKinney area,
Nice,
and it's just
nice.
so it's like family oriented out here. It's like definitely you could raise a family out here. It's growing. It looks nice. Everything is like right there. But as far as where I wanted to go, I had no idea. I just knew I wanted to play football in the league. I could have been anywhere. So I'm glad Dallas is the spot I landed for sure.
Yeah, so you just wanted to hit the field. You didn't care where. You just want to touch field.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then after the Senior Bowl, you get invited to the Combine as well. So touch on that. What was that like?
Now that was, like I said, it was crazy. It was the whole reason I came back in 2023 just to get the combine invite. That whole experience was crazy. Seeing people I grew up watching, like Chris Carter, just everybody. Like I'm like, man, I'm here. It was definitely an experience to be in Indianapolis and showcasing what I had to do. I feel like I was comfortable. Like I definitely went to the combine. And I felt like I crushed it. I wasn't nervous or I didn't let the moment get too big. I trained hard the whole combine training, like training like a madman. So when I got to that moment, I was comfortable and I was able to play freely.
Do you think your Senior Bowl conversations with teams helped you prepare for the Combine interviews?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I went to the Senior Bowl just because you know it was long days. So even when I'm exhausted and have to talk to a team, I was able to talk to them. Where at the combine, I'm fresh. My mind is fresh, so I could talk to them. I could talk to them better.
Right. And we're going to get to your draft day experience in a second. But at the Combine, which teams did you have the most contact with to the point where you were kind of expecting them to call you on draft day?
Really Dolphins. I knew they liked me. Chargers. Um, who else in Texans? I knew I had good meetings with them. And yeah, I felt like I had great meetings with those three teams.
Like getting to the combine as FCS player is crazy in itself. But before the FCS, I know you're talking about you're blessed to be there and everything, but in your head, were you thinking you were going to get that call to be invited to the combine, or what was going through your head before that, before you even got the call?
Um, I knew I might have got it. Like I said, the whole reason I came back to school because I was going to declare after the 2022 season.
Right.
But I thought it was smart to go back and actually work towards the combine and work towards the Senior Bowl, and I accomplished it. So I knew after I got the Senior Bowl, I'm like, oh, the combine might sneak its way in there too. So
Right.
I just got the email and I looked. I sent it to my agent. I'm like, is this the combine? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, dang. I sent it to my whole family. Everybody was, happy, turned. So
Such an
it was
animal.
definitely crazy to see I got the combine invite. And it's like, I knew it was going to happen because I prayed on it. But it was definitely still a surprise and crazy that I got it.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome.
For sure.
And then on draft day, you drafted round 6, 216 overall. What did draft day look like for you, and how was receiving that call?
Ooh, man, that was the most anxious I ever been. The the anxiety was up to the roof. I knew I was gonna go day 3. So I forgot what day it was, but it was the last day of the draft. So that's when I tuned in and had my phone on ringer. I'm texting everybody, please don't call me, please. Just wait after this day. I think the draft started at 11, and I didn't get drafted until 4. So I'm sitting on the couch that whole day just waiting. It was frustrating, like seeing people get picked before me, but kudos to them, they deserve it. And it was frustrating, like teams called me during the draft and was like, if you don't get picked up, we'd like for you to be a priority free agent for us. Getting that call, getting them team calls, and the family thinking that's the draft call. I'm like, no, just wait, it's not it. But yeah, I got the call from the star, and it was Jerry Jones, and he was like, we just drafted you. Everything went out the window. I was just full of excitement. My family, full of tears. Everybody's dreams came true. So it was definitely a roller coaster. Honestly, it was definitely a roller coaster. But it was one of the best days of my life. Honestly, that's the day my whole family life changed for sure.
Absolutely. That's a blessing in itself, man, to be honest. Now I know where you're thinking any team calls, you're grateful and you want it 100%. But just for the sake of it, is there any team just out of the ordinary that you did not want to call on that day?
Honestly, any team could have called me. Like I said, I would just want to play in the league. You
Yeah.
feel me? So I wasn't gonna be mad at any team. Honestly, I wanted it wasn't no team.
You just want to play professional ball, huh?
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't no team that could have called me. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go there.
So you're talking about towards the end of the draft, some people are calling you and saying, hey, if you don't get picked, we want to take you as a priority free agent. Did going undrafted ever enter your mind, or were you confident that you were going to get the call?
I was going into the draft. I was confident going into getting drafted because I snapped. I feel like I snapped at the Senior Bowl. I feel like I snapped at the combine. So so I was there confident. But then once I got them calls, and I was like, if you don't get picked, and you waiting all day, I'm like, dang, I might not get picked. What if I don't get picked? So just playing mind games with yourself. Like I'm playing mind games with myself and just saying what if this. So it was definitely kind of scary, but all I really wanted is the opportunity because I knew once I got that shot, I make it what it is. But I was fortunate to get drafted, blessed for sure.
Absolutely. And how instrumental do you think the combine and the Senior Bowl was into your draft stock? Would you have gotten drafted without it?
Honestly, I think that was, because I played at a small school, so level of competition was a question, and then just at the combine to showcase my athletic ability. I think I finished like the top percentile in every category. So I feel like that definitely helped me boost my draft grade. Show the scouts, show the GMs what I'm capable of doing on the field. So yeah, that definitely helped me.
Absolutely. I want to talk about we're jumping and we touch base on this a little bit. You go from FCS and you're playing with high level talent at quarterback. I want to talk about going from FCS and then hitting the field as a pro in the NFL with the Cowboys. I want to hear about what's the difference and what came at you most, hit you in the face. Was it the playbook? Was it the coaching? Was it the quarterback style of play, the DB's type of play? What in your mind was the biggest jump from FCS to NFL?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was, it's a lot, honestly. The NFL is way more intelligent than the FCS level. You got DCs that's intelligent. You got OCs that's intelligent. You got players that's intelligent. So, you playing chess in the league for real. Biggest challenge was probably terminology. And um, at my school we didn't run routes. We ran like yardage. In the league here, we run off of steps, like your fifth outside step, third outside step. And just that helps with the timing with the QB. So that's a big adjustment. It's a lot of disguises um, in the league. A lot of teams can disguise their coverage, and it's a lot of it's just a lot of things that try to trick you, but you just gotta stay on point and just fall back to your training and your studying. That's the only thing about the league that's definitely different.
So when you're talking about yardage, so they refer to it in college as yardage, and then now they're talking about steps. So are they saying like a 10-yard out and then a third yard or a third step out, or what does that look like?
So it looks like so in college running like a 15-yard comeback or a 15-yard dig, but here we run a off your fourth step dig, so that'll put you at 15 to 16 yards. Your fifth off your fifth step, fifth outside step, that'll put you at like 20 yards. And it's just knowing that and being comfortable with doing that, not calculating your steps, not showing the DB that you 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
but being smooth and fluent with that. That was probably the biggest jump for me.
So that's probably different for everybody, even though you got different lengths of people, you got different speeds of people, different run styles. So that's probably different for everybody. It may not be like a 20 yard, or maybe 18 yard or a 22 yard. So, in your opinion, is that easier? When they say fourth outside step, is that easier because you're not waiting till you get to the 20, you're just waiting for that foot hits the ground. So is that easier? Are they making it easier for you to understand the route and understand the concepts?
Yeah, I definitely think that. Like I said, it's with timing with the quarterback. So like he knows if we supposed to break off our fourth outside step, like on if he have a 7 step drop, it should be right there. If we're his second read, or his first read, it's right there. So it's all about timing, really. I think it's definitely easier than just to go 15 yards and then break down.
Yeah, got you.
Specifically, when you got to the league, I want to know, did you have a welcome to the NFL moment? Because a lot of guys we've interviewed, they've given us stories about, the intelligence level changing. But what's a specific story that you have that was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Hmm, that's a good one. Honestly, my first preseason game. Um, I felt like my emotions was high. Like I wasn't nervous or anything, but I just felt like I'm coming from an FCS level, and I want to prove myself once again. And I feel like I was out there. My first pass thrown to me, I dropped, and then my second pass, I fumbled, and then ran out of bounds. And just that whole game, I was like, oh yeah, I got to get it together. And it was like, I was overthinking a lot. But second, third preseason game, I did well. I got out of my head. I was just playing freely. So I definitely say my first NFL game was walking to the NFL.
There you go.
Absolutely. But in a nutshell, if we look at the preseason, you played very well. So how long did it take for that confidence to start rising up, and how long did it take, for things to start smoothly transitioning into, hey, I'm here now and I'm confident, I'm ready to go?
Right after that first game, because after that first game, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely out of here. I'm cut. But that was going through my mind. So I'm like, all right, I have to step up. I have to do better. So I took, I did some extra steps. I started taking walks. Just listening to my music, taking walks, clearing my mind before practice. Just taking extra steps where I could not be nervous. I was just doing a little extra studying, playbook studying with the coaches. Catching extra balls after practice, ball security. So by the time that second and that third game came, I felt like I was in my element and I was like, in the zone.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about your rookie duties. I know you had some. We talked to Kalen Carson, and he said that y'all had to get donuts and Popeyes and buy snacks for the team and all that. But he also said that there was a singing performance, karaoke that y'all had to do. And he had a certain player in mind that did the best. But I want to hear your take. Who had the best performance?
Oh, hands down, Maris. I guarantee that's who he picked
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Maris could sing.
You got it. Bingo.
How was your performance?
My performances, it was all right. I'm not a singer. I'm more of a comedian, but I sung Chris Brown, Yo. I did pretty good. Wasn't the best. I'll probably give myself a 7 out of 10. But I got on that stage and I sung my heart out.
Hey, you can be honest with us right here. Don't give him extra points because he's your teammate. But how well was Kalen Carson's?
I want to say, I don't know if Kalen's was good. uh, I think Kalen is a cool dude. Like he real.
He didn't seem like the singer type.
Yeah, he's not a singer type, but he's an artist though. He definitely can make music.
I've seen him putting out some stuff.
But I think he sung Fantasia or he sung something. But he did all right.
What did Maris sing?
Maris sung a country song and he blew the roof off the.
Everybody was vibing with it. Everybody was having a good time.
Everybody wanted an encore. Everybody wanted him to sing it again.
Were there any rookie duties that I haven't heard about? I know he told us about donuts on Fridays and then Popeyes for the plane. Was there anything else that he didn't mention?
Nah, we just like I said, we get snacks. I have to get snacks every 2 weeks for the receiver room. Uh, Popeyes for the plane every away game. Um, that's pretty much it. It was we had to decorate the I had to decorate the receiver room for Halloween and Christmas. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That wasn't too bad.
So I saw a video on Twitter from, I think it was Jalen Brooks, and it said he showed the rookie dinner, the bill.
Oh, no.
And the way that Kalen talked about it was that it was split among position groups, so it was just a receiver dinner, correct?
Yeah,
So that you were the only rookie receiver, right?
yeah.
So did that entire bill go to you?
It didn't really come out to 17,000. It came out to like 1,500. They just wanted to prank me. Cause I'm like, whoa. But it was a little prank.
There you go.
So, in that video, we see a little clip of Brandon Cooks. So that makes me want to touch base with you. Describe that wide receiver room. There's a lot of veteran leadership, like we were talking about earlier, CD, Brandon Cooks. So describe that. Are they influencing your game? Or they, teach you a little bit of tricks here and there? Or how's that, being on a team and being teammates with those guys?
For sure. Starting off with Brandon Cooks, man, that's the most professional man I met, just taking care of his business and he's a great vet. Honestly, teach you the ropes. He'll tell you what you need to know. Honestly, he well respected. He's, I love B Cooks, man. That's one of my favorite people for real. CD also great. You know, he one of the most feared receivers in the league. I ask him all the time, like, what would you do right here? He'll give me sauce and, you know, tell me what he would have did. And, you know, just, you know, he being helpful. Even Jalen Tolbert, that's my boy. Like, we be in the steam room, you know, just chopping it up. Just all the vets in our room, you know, was just all selfless. You know, we wanted to see all of us win, and no one was above the group for real.
Well, I want to touch base on the new head coach. I don't know if that means a bunch to you, Brian. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to say his last name. I know his first name, Brian. How is that? Is that a surprising hire? Do you like the hire? I know he's an OC there, so you're still running the same. As far as playbook wise, probably the same or base, I guess you could say. How is that, and is that coming in effect yet? Are you seeing any changes so far?
Yeah, it's pronounced Schottenheimer. We call him Shotty.
Shoddy, I got it. That's what I'm calling from now on.
I honestly thought Shotty was a good OC. You know, very smart football. You know, been coaching for a long time. Honestly, I didn't know anything. They don't keep us in the rope, but
Right.
you know, I'm glad he's head coach. You know, he deserved it. Congrats. I did like McCarthy. I thought McCarthy was a great guy. You know, just great human all around. But no changes yet. We haven't been kept in the rope. I think they having a press conference with Shadi in a couple of days, so I'll tune into that and see what changes.
So he hasn't spoken to the team at all yet?
No, he hasn't.
All right.
Gotcha.
Well, we're going to switch it up a little bit now. We want to talk about the rest of the NFL playoffs. We just want to hear your Super Bowl prediction for the last two conference championship games tomorrow. We're recording this on a Saturday. So tomorrow, this championship games. We want to hear your predictions on them.
I'll say the Bills and the Commanders. That's
Okay.
who I want to see in the Super Bowl. It's unfortunate that both of our rivals is in the Final Four, so definitely not going with the Eagles. But I'll say the Commanders. I actually want the Commanders to win just because the story behind their whole
Yeah.
program or organization. You know, having a rookie quarterback, haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. I don't know their record last year. I know they was, one of in last place for real. But to turn the whole around and just to win the Super Bowl, I feel like that would be a good story.
Absolutely. What about you, Dave?
I think I'm gonna go with as much as I'm kind of in the same boat. I want the Commanders to win it, but I think Eagles and Chiefs. I think they three-peat. Eagles and Chiefs.
I think that's the worst combination, but it's whatever. So we have some questions from Twitter for you. These are random. These are not related in any way, but it's just stuff people wanted to know. So our first question here is: if you weren't an NFL player, you couldn't be an athlete, what career would you want to have?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough because I never had really a job. Honestly, I caddied in high school,
Yeah.
but anything dealing with sports, I have no idea. I'll probably be an artist. I
Okay.
like to draw. Me and my wife we paint sometimes. So I'll probably be like a graphic designer.
Okay, I like that answer. There you go.
Neat.
What's your weirdest or craziest fan interaction so far? It can be with you're the Cowboys fan or a away fan or anything like that.
Um, I had one, a couple days ago. I just had somebody just staring at me. I was just staring at them back, and they was like staring for like awkwardly 20 seconds, and I was just staring at them back, and they happened to say, "Oh, you a Cowboys receiver?" And it was like, "Yeah, I am, man." They're staring for another 20 seconds, and it was like, "Can I get a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." So that was kind of the weirdest fan interaction I had.
Absolutely. All right, this part you can be honest with us. Which teammate had the worst karaoke performance as a rookie?
Um, He's not even on the team no more. But it was man, what was his name? I forgot his name. Man. I look like a bad teammate.
Did it have any correlation because he did bad at karaoke? He got kicked off of the team. Is there any correlation there?
Nah, it had no correlation. It had no correlation. He actually was a good player. I go to somebody that's on the team. Um, I say Marshawn Leland's one of the best. My second round pick. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the funniest teammate you have so far?
Funniest. It's a lot of personality in the locker room, so it's a lot of funny guys. I I'll probably say Brandon Cooks is one of the he's pretty funny. He a troll. That's he's funny.
I got two more questions for you. Any wide receiver growing up that you try to emulate your game after?
Yeah, I tried to emulate my game after Jerry Rice, and I'll tell
It's a
you
good
the
one,
reason
pick.
because he was really dominant. He was like super dominant, and I just loved everything he do off the field. With his work ethic, and he got the record for record for most touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Hall of Fame. I love to model my career after that. I'm number 82, so
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and he came from FBS too.
Absolutely. And then one last question. The hardest DB you've gone up against so far in your career and your football journey?
I'm gonna get some nice DBs this year. I'll say Stingley. He was pretty nice. For the Texans, he was pretty nice. Trey Diggs, nice. Trey Diggs is one of the best in the league. I'll definitely say Trey Diggs is one of the better corners I played.
What is your pregame music that you listen to? Go-to song?
I'm a big G Herbo fan. Just because I'm from Chicago and I can relate to what he's saying. So I just play a playlist with him, and then if I'm trying to mellow out, I'll listen to some. I listen to R. Kelly, the world's greatest.
Okay.
Hey, there's ain't no hate. There's no shame in that. Come on.
Yeah,
Dog.
it's no shame. It's definitely a great song. Definitely inspirational song for sure. But yeah, that's probably my playlist.
Absolutely.
All right. This is a weirder question, but if you go to a gas station and you got to pick up a snack and a drink, what's your go-to snack and drink that you would get?
I get some candy. I like Skittles, so I'll definitely grab some Skittles, and I'll probably grab like a Gatorade.
Okay.
I'll probably the Arctic Rush Gatorade,
Are we sour or are we regular Skittles?
purple Skittles.
Purple.
Purple. What is that? The tropical?
That's the berry one.
That's the
The
berry.
tropical is the blue one.
Okay.
Y'all
there
know
you go.
y'all stuff, man.
Yeah, I know my Skittles.
What has been your favorite stadium or city to visit so far? Because I know you visited some good stadiums.
The Raiders had a nice stadium. Honestly, it was definitely fun playing there. Honestly, all of them. I can't even lie. All of them been just like dang, it's a
Yeah.
nice stadium. But I definitely say the Raiders. I feel like we have a pretty good stadium. A good game day atmosphere. As far as one of the loudest with fans, I'd say Pittsburgh was pretty loud. I'd probably say the Eagles. Their fans is crazy.
Absolutely. One last question for you. I've always wanted to know. Some guys can, some guys can't. But are you allowed to play fantasy football?
I haven't. I never even played it. I kind of want to get into it, like, but I don't even.
But you are allowed to.
I don't know if I'm allowed to. I don't think so.
All right. Well, Dave, you got anything else?
But you definitely can't bet on sports, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure of that. I'm all good, man. This has been a great podcast. So I just want to say, touch base on it again. Blessed to have you on. We're very thankful that you agreed to come on to this podcast, and it's a growing podcast. So I'm very excited and happy that you gave us the time. and you gave us the effort to come on here.
No, for sure. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely. We'll put all of Ryan's socials right below us right here. Go make sure and follow him. Hit him up. We wish you the best, man. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate y'all.
This episode is sponsored by Pennant Patchworks. If you're a Texas Tech fan and you have a little bit of swag to you, Pennant Patchworks is a perfect hat for you. They're a Lubbock-based hat and t-shirt company with various styles to choose from, as you can see here.
At checkout, we got an exclusive code with Pennant Patchworks. You can use our code DRAFTROOM15 for 15% off your entire order. That's DRAFTROOM15. So go ahead and visit pennantpatchworks.com and grab yourself a hat today.